Have you ever pondered upon the significance of self-discipline in Islam? This concept is deeply rooted in our faith, serving as a cornerstone to our spiritual growth and development. It is through self-discipline that we learn to acknowledge our shortcomings, taking that first crucial step towards self-improvement. In Islam, each of us carries personal responsibility for our own development, and indeed, we will be held accountable individually for our deeds. The journey towards self-discipline is a personal one, a path that is unique to each believer. The concept of self-discipline is not just about curbing our desires or denying ourselves pleasures. Rather, it is about channeling our energies and desires in a way that is pleasing to Allah, aligning our actions with our faith. This journey towards self-discipline is a constant striving, a struggle against our inner self, or nafs. It is about learning to resist instant gratification, to practice patience, and to maintain balance in our lives. In the Quran, we find examples of individuals whose lack of self-discipline led to their downfall. One such example is the story of Prophet Nuh's wife. This narrative provides a well-documented account of the perils of lacking self-discipline. Prophet Nuh's wife, whose name is not mentioned in the Quran, was known for her disbelief and disobedience. Despite being the wife of a prophet, she failed to uphold the principles of faith and discipline that her husband tirelessly preached. She lived during a time when society was steeped in idolatry and moral decadence. Despite being in a position to influence change, she chose to align herself with the disbelievers, thus demonstrating a lack of self-discipline. Her lack of discipline extended to her faith. She failed to heed her husband's warnings and persistently engaged in activities that displeased Allah. This disregard for her husband's teachings and the divine commandments of Allah eventually led to her downfall. When the great flood came as a divine punishment for the disbelievers, she was among those who perished. Despite having the chance to board the ark with her husband, her lack of faith and self-discipline led her to meet a tragic end. Her story serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of self-discipline. It's a testament that our actions, decisions, and ultimately our discipline can have significant consequences. Despite having access to divine wisdom through her husband, Prophet Nuh, her lack of self-discipline led her astray. This narrative underscores that discipline isn't about our circumstances or the company we keep, but our personal choices. It's about acknowledging our shortcomings and striving for self-improvement. It's about resisting the allure of instant gratification and aligning our actions with what is pleasing to Allah. Her story serves as a sobering reminder of the importance of self-discipline. It's a call to action for us to reflect, introspect, and strive towards becoming more disciplined in our lives. Similarly, we find a lesson in the story of Prophet Lut's wife. In the annals of history, we find numerous examples that serve as reminders and lessons for us. Among these is the tale of Prophet Lut's wife, a narrative that provides a stark illustration of the consequences of lacking self-discipline. Prophet Lut was a man of great piety and devotion, tasked with guiding his people towards righteousness. Despite the moral decay that had enveloped his society, he remained steadfast and true to his faith. Yet, within his own home, his wife chose a different path. She was a woman who, despite being married to a prophet, failed to adhere to the virtues of self-discipline and faith. Her actions did not reflect the teachings of her husband, and she indulged in the sinful practices of her society. This lack of self-discipline, this inability to resist the allure of wrongful desires, led her down a path of ruin. What's more, she also betrayed her husband, Prophet Lut, by informing the wicked people of the town about the guests who had come to visit him. This act of treachery was a direct result of her lack of self-restraint and discipline. Her story concludes with a grave punishment from Allah. As the divine wrath descended upon the sinful city, she was left behind and shared the same fate as the transgressors. Despite being the wife of a prophet, her lack of self-discipline and adherence to wrongful desires led to her downfall. Her tale is a stark example of the dangers of lacking self-discipline. It is a reminder that self-discipline is not merely an optional virtue, but a necessity. It is the shield that protects us from straying off the righteous path, from succumbing to our base desires. It is the tool that enables us to live in accordance with our faith, even when surrounded by temptation. In contrast, we find a shining example in the story of the wife of Pharaoh. This tale is one of courage, faith, and the utmost self-discipline. Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, lived in the lap of luxury as the queen of Egypt. But her heart was not attached to the worldly treasures and pleasures around her. Instead, she yearned for the divine truth, for the love of Allah. In the midst of a tyrannical reign, Asiya found faith. She embraced Islam, knowing full well the dangers that lay ahead. She chose spiritual freedom over worldly bondage. The Pharaoh was known for his cruelty, and when he discovered Asiya's faith, he subjected her to unimaginable torment. Yet Asiya held steadfast. She did not let her suffering sway her faith. In fact, her faith grew stronger. Her discipline in the face of adversity was remarkable. She was not tempted by the riches of the palace, nor did she fear the wrath of the Pharaoh. Her only desire was to please Allah. In the face of death, Asiya made a profound prayer. She asked Allah for a home near him in paradise and to save her from Pharaoh and his wrongdoings. Allah answered her prayer. Asiya's soul was taken before Pharaoh could harm her again, and she was promised a place in paradise. Her tale is an inspiring testament to the virtues of self-discipline. Despite her circumstances, Asiya remained disciplined and steadfast in her faith. She reminds us that true freedom comes from the discipline of the soul and the pursuit of what is pleasing to Allah. Asiya's story is a beacon of light for all who strive for self-discipline in their journey towards spiritual growth. Her tale is an inspiring testament to the virtues of self-discipline. Now you may wonder, how can one cultivate self-discipline? The answer lies in the small, everyday choices we make. Let's explore some practical steps that can help us on this journey. First off, consider limiting excessive socializing. While social interaction is a healthy part of life, too much of it can lead to distraction and loss of focus. Strive for balance. Connect with others, but also take time for solitude and introspection. Next, beware of wishful thinking. It's easy to imagine grand outcomes without putting in the necessary work. Instead, focus on the present moment and the actions you can take right now. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Furthermore, be mindful of your attachment to worldly matters. It's natural to desire comfort and security, but these should not become the focal point of your existence. Instead, treat them as tools to help you fulfill your purpose and serve others. Another pitfall to avoid is overeating and oversleeping. Both can lead to lethargy and a lack of productivity. Strive for moderation in all things, including food and rest. Your body is a gift. Treat it with respect and care. But perhaps the most important step in cultivating self-discipline is renewing your intentions before every action. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the answer aligns with your values and goals, proceed with confidence. If not, reconsider your course of action. Finally, always seek Allah's aid in your endeavors. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Allah is always there, ready to guide and support you if you reach out to Him. Remember, the journey to self-discipline is a continuous one, but with patience and perseverance, it is achievable. So take heart and embark on this journey with courage and determination. You have the power within you to become the best version of yourself. In conclusion, self-discipline is a cornerstone of Islamic teachings. It's a profound journey that starts with acknowledging our shortcomings and striving for personal growth. Remember the narratives of Prophet Nuh's and Prophet Lut's wives, as well as the wife of Pharaoh, which illustrate the importance of discipline and accountability. We are all responsible for our own development and will be held accountable individually. In our pursuit of self-discipline, let's not forget the practical steps advised: resisting instant gratification, maintaining moderation in our desires, and controlling our nafs or self. Patience and restraint are virtues to be cultivated. Let's renew our intentions before our actions and seek Allah's aid in this constant battle. Let's strive for what is pleasing to Allah and remember the journey of self-discipline is one of constant effort and continuous improvement. If you found this video beneficial, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content. May Allah guide us all on the path of self-discipline.